Welcome back to the Her in Between podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Jones, and I'm so happy you're here today. Y'all, it is episode 15. It's such an honor to be here. It's such an honor to be here. I'm so proud of myself. Episode 15, I don't think I've ever done something 15 times. No, I'm kidding. But it is a pretty big deal. And yeah, it feels so good. Um, And thank you so much for being here because maybe it's your first time, but maybe you've been here all 15. Just wait till I get to 100. You still gonna be showing up. I hope so. Even if you're just here for today, thank you. Anyways, starting off the episode with a drink. I'm sipping on some strawberry watermelon sparkling water. Mm, it's so strong. It's so good. It's got like a Jolly Rancher taste. Love my drinks. I've been drinking a lot of sparkling water. Like sparkling water is my go-to because you're hydrating. You're getting a little natural flavors. What's natural flavor? What is this natural flavor that they're putting into these sparkling waters, and why does it taste so real? Oh, excuse me. Breakfast sausage. No, I'm kidding. Um, Welcome back. It is Thursday. And that's funny because Thursday is the day I'm supposed to drop this episode. So we are a little behind, but this week has been a wild one. Just really been busy with work. I've been planning my women's group tea party. Um, if you didn't know, I am a women's group leader. I co-lead a group with my friend. We meet at my house every other Thursday. We read the Bible, do devotions, and really just talk about life. We just be having real deal conversations, and it's like one of my favorite things ever. And I never thought I would do anything close to this. So yeah, it's stretched me in so many different ways. It's allowed me to step into like leadership in some capacity. It's allowed me to meet so many different women, and it's allowed me to like make real connections with them too. So yeah, it's pretty much changed my life. I don't know if I'm saying it like, do you like it? No, I love it. It's just mind blowing what um, God has done through this whole experience. So I'm so grateful. But yeah, I lead a women's group in my home. And if you ever have thought about doing something like that, I say go for it. And you don't have to know what you're doing to do it because you will learn along the way. So whether it's a women's group or whether it's a book club or whether it's anything, just start it and you will figure it out along the way. I think I used to feel like I had to know what to do before I started. But the more that I just step into doing things, I realize the the success and the experience you think that you need to to start something is really going to arrive once you start the thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, sometimes we're looking for this thing before we start the thing, but really you can't get the thing until you start the thing. Did that make sense? Working on my communication skills. But yeah. So whatever it is, go out and get it. Go out and get it. And I feel like the more that I try things out, the more that I step into like roles that I would have never thought that I could do, the more that I just do it with no knowledge, the more that I have this confidence that whatever new thing I want to try, I can do it. I hope that made sense. So, yeah, that is not what today's episode is about, but we're going to get into today's episode because I got some things to do. I got a lot of people about to come to my house, and my house ain't ready, but it's about to be ready. So, let it go. So, today's episode is going to be about beliefs that live under the surface that keep us stuck. And honestly, this is really just a personal message to myself that I just want to share with you because a lot of times the things that we're going through, someone else is going through, or they have gone through, or eventually they will go through this. And I kind of just wanted to share some things that I have learned about within my quiet time. And yeah, maybe it'll be helpful to you. This is going to be a super quick episode. And I'm not just saying that, I'm being serious because I really do have about 15 girls about to come to my house. And clearly, I am not dressed. The tea that I'm making is not ready. And we got to get this show popping. So we're going to get into this episode and get out real quick. But, I really wanted to show up this week. And yeah. So I'm just going to share some beliefs that I really had about myself that kept me stuck and that I have not perfected, but I know that I have to work at understanding that these are lies and that if I want to walk in true freedom, I cannot believe these things. And maybe some of these beliefs you resonate with, but maybe you don't. Maybe you know somebody who does and that you can hear this and maybe encourage them that it is a lie. And there's a lot of lies that we're believing. There's a lot of lies that were spoken over us when we were young. And there's a lot of lies that we somehow developed believing on our own. And there's a lot of lies that the enemy places and speaks over us and that we just repeat it back. And so, yeah, I'm going to share the beliefs that I once believed and the truth. First belief, I believe that if I release the pain, then I'll lose my identity. Um, and if I heal, then who am I? If I let go of a hurt that I had, then who am I? It's the belief that my identity is in my pain or in something that I've experienced or um, that is what makes me basically. And that is a lie. And because I am a believer, my identity is in God. It's in Christ. So whatever I experience, whatever hard thing I go through, whatever good thing I go through, my identity is not in that. And so nobody can take away um, who I am. No pain, no good thing, nothing can change where my identity is. It's crazy how you can like walk in brokenness for so long. And I know that word kind of scares people, but it's crazy how you can walk around so sick and unhealed. And the moment that you heal, it's scary because it's unknown and all you know is toxicity. All you know is like sometimes like pain, how to operate in pain and sadness. And so I think that it's scary to walk in healing. And I think that one of my fears was that if I let go of the thing that I've kind of always known, then who will I be? And it sounds so silly to say out loud, but I think that stopped me sometimes from making certain steps forward because obviously the steps that I was making forward were unknown and I didn't know what it was going to look like. And the fact that healing is hard sometimes. Um, but I think that really kept me stuck in a lot of ways because I felt like if I let this go, then who will I be? Because that pain is who I am. That pain has made me, and this is why I am the way I am. So if I start to move this around, then who will I be? But you aren't. and I'm saying you aren't because you aren't, and I'm not. We're not what happens to us, and we're not the choices we've even made. That's not who we are. Yeah. All of us were made in the image of God, and that's who we are. And that's why nothing on this planet can shake us, or meaning, because things can't shake you. nothing in this planet can, Nothing on this planet can define who we are. Because when we came into this world, we were already who we've always been, which is children of God. And so, yeah, releasing that belief and denouncing that belief really has helped me move forward. And I would even just say that if you feel like um, you would lose your identity if you start to uproot some beliefs, and if you believe that your identity will be shaken, um, because you are healing, then I would say don't be afraid of what's to come, because 10 times out of 10 it's better than holding on to pain. But releasing pain can be scary. It's it's probably been one of the scariest things I've ever had to do, but it's been one of the best things I've ever done. And so, yeah, if you release the pain, you don't lose your identity. You actually get to step more into who you've always been called to be. Another belief that I had that really kept me stuck was that if I don't remain upset or bothered, then the pain wasn't that severe. And this belief I had, I don't know where I picked this up at actually, but I think sometimes I've had to prove or feel like I needed to prove to myself and maybe even to others that what you did to me or what I experienced was super painful. And so I have to um, make sure that I remain in that role. So, and so I'm reminded that what happened was hard. And I guess I'm getting emotional because I'm just being reminded of how much sometimes like sadness and um wow. We were not supposed to be going here. Goodness. Um I needed to make sure my emotions matched with the pain that I felt. And that takes a lot of energy. You do not have to convince anybody or yourself that what happened was hard or that it hurt you. The situation could have been very painful. The situation could have been um, severe, but you do not have to remain distressed about it to prove that. And I think I've spent a lot of my in between trying to prove that this was valid when I never had to do that. And so a belief I had to let go was that I had to remain upset about it or bothered for it to have been serious. But no, you can experience something very serious and move on and it still have been serious. And so yeah, I don't know if you needed to hear that, but you don't have to continue to um, rehearse and feel for it to still have remained valid. You can experience joy and it still have been a serious situation. And so yeah, I had to let that belief go, and that will keep you so stuck. Sometimes I think that I had a lot of sad moments just because I felt like I needed to for that to be valid or whatever. I can talk about things now with joy, not joy because it happened, but joy because I made it through, even though it was serious. And so, yeah, don't feel like you have to mope about it for it to still be valid. You can experience joy even in the midst of it. And last but not least, the belief that really has kept me stuck in the past. And sometimes I still battle with it is that if I don't worry, then I won't be safe. Um, this one is ultimately one of the roots of my anxiety. And it's the idea that if I think about it enough, if I worry about it enough, then I can make sure that I think about every scenario, and that is what's going to make me safe, which is literally how you get stuck in a loop. Because when you start worrying, there's no end to the worry. You will literally keep looping and looping and looping. First thing that I do when I start doing that is I pray. And I said, like, I say, God, help me. I don't want to do this. I'm doing it again. And I really don't have to say much. So I just say a quick, like, God, I need you right now. I I genuinely am doing it. I'm doing it again. So please comfort me right now. I know most likely what I'm believing is a lie. And then number two is I ask, am I confusing possibility with certainty? That's something that has helped me out, is that there's a lot of possible things that could happen. But what about certainty? None of those things are certain. And so I don't need to put so much energy into them. And number three is, would I tell somebody that I love the same thing? And with those three things, it usually pulls me out of my loop. And then follow up with two, like, you're doing it again, Kellē. And it sounds a little harsh, but I think that sometimes if you're dealing with this, you got to find out what questions work for you and what helps you, because we're all so unique. And um, sometimes you just got to get real with yourself. And for me, and I know everybody, some people have other roots, but for mine, it's just get real with yourself, Kellē. So, yeah, this episode is really short, I know. I think it's so important that we speak truth over our lives rather than lies. Um, Lies are so easy to believe. Truths sometimes are harder. Lies feed our flesh almost. And our flesh is like really easy to feed. It's like a catfish. Like you can literally feed a catfish anything. He will eat anything. And as humans, sometimes it's easy for us to absorb fake news. But when it's the truth, we kind of question it. We're like, why? No, it couldn't be this good. One of the biggest things that I do is I read the word and I look at what God says about me. And if what God says about me doesn't match up with the belief that I'm speaking over my life in my head, then it's not true. In my Bible app, I wrote this like in my bio, and nobody like reads your bio, like the Bible app. But it's something that I read over myself, because this is just something I forget, but this is all biblical. But it's, if it's true for me, it's true for you. And it's that I'm above and not beneath. I am the head and not the tail. I am the lender and not the borrower. I am a child of God, salt and light, a city on a hill, more than a conqueror. If what I'm speaking in my head does not reflect that, if what somebody else is speaking to me is not reflecting that, it can't be true. And so what I do is I line up everything with the word of God. And so I'm not confused, Because I think I used to be real confused on maybe I'm not chosen. Maybe I'm not smart. Maybe I'm not special. No, that's a lie. Maybe I don't need to walk in freedom. Maybe freedom isn't my portion. Like that is a lie. And so it's just been important for me to release a lot of those things, and it's important for you to be able to walk in true freedom. So yeah, that's what today's episode was about. I know it was a short one. Hope it wasn't too short. I love you. I got to get this party started like now. Um, and yeah, hope you have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. And we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So yeah, give us a follow. Love y'all. Bye bye.